Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Welcome to another episode of the IIIE School of Economics Alumni Association interview series. Before I introduce my guest today, uh, I would like to invite all our graduates of IIIE School of Economics to become member of the Alumni Association. There is a WhatsApp group and uh, uh, YouTube channel also. Uh, an invite of the WhatsApp group will be shared with this video. When you are watching this interview, you can also join, and you are encouraged and invited and most welcome to join the group. This interview series of the Alumni Association was started by one of our very learned friend, Dr. Humayun Dar, also known as Humayun Barbarossa, as he used to call himself during the university days. So he started this interview series, and I was the first person he interviewed. I was on the other side of the table for the first interview. And today I'm on this side of the table and introducing one of our very learned friend, our senior, our colleague, and from a member of the first batch. You have already watched a couple of interviews from the first batch, and today I'm having the privilege of introducing our senior. He came to the university, International Islamic University, uh, in 1981, the first batch, and completed his BSc honors in 1985. Then MSc in 86 and gold medal in MSc Economics from International Islamic University as well. Then moved on to for higher education to Canada and completed his MA in Economics from McMaster University in 1988. And in 1993, he completed his PhD from McMaster University. After that, he served in many universities, many countries, including Pakistan, Malaysia, Bahrain, and Canada. And he taught in almost 10 universities in 4 different countries, worked as head of economic section at IPS, Institute of Policy Studies, and research fellow at Muslim Commercial Bank. He is currently associated with McMaster University, from where he graduated, and also associated with Center for Islamic Knowledge as head Islamic finance. So I welcome to Dr. Rizwan Tahir, and welcome Dr. Rizwan Tahir to our this interview of the Alumni Association. How are you?
Oh, thank you. And Assalamu alaikum to all the viewers. Thank you for the opportunity. I don't think that I deserve to be one of those who are being interviewed. I would personally like to see many others and know more about them. I know that Dr. Humayun started this, but I think he should also be interviewed. He's doing a tremendous job. So, well, again, thank you. Nice to see you.
Thank you very much for your kind words. And yes, we do have a plan to have interview with Dr. Humayun Dar. He is doing wonderful job in Islamic economics field. And before moving further into the interview today, I would like to ask you, because when you came to to the university, International Islamic University. At that time, it was not International Institute of Islamic Economics. It was simply School of Economics. And 1981, the very first batch. So I would like, and that's one of the common questions we ask our interviewees, our guests, um, to share memories of those golden days, the very first days you guys spent on campus. So any memories you would like to share with us and with our viewers?
Well, thank you. Now, after, you're taking me back in the memory lane, like 40, 35 years back. Now, all is gold now, but at that time when we were, came to university, it was tough. I remember that, in the first batch, the campus was not ready. The mosque was under construction. And the residents just, in the beside the mountains, the Darusada and Darussit, those actually were not meant for hostels. Those were the residences supposed to be for those who would serve Faisal Masjid. So they were basically units, family units. So each unit has, a couple of bedrooms, kitchen, and the storeroom.
Yes.
So I think there was a lag in the planning that they started the program, admitted the first batch without having these facilities, ready for students. So for us, me and my other, class fellows who came from Karachi, it was a change in the environment, in the sense that Karachi and Islamabad, you can see the difference between, Karachi is more, noisy and more, you can see more life, in Islamabad is not. And this was even more quieter, side of Islamabad. These residences, there was at that time, no hot water. There was no proper mess. There was no bank, no post office, no cafeteria.
Wow.
No television, no nothing. Now we think back and see that how actually we used to spend time. There were no pathways, no roads, and I remember again also because of the weather. I know we were from Karachi, not used to very cold weather. So the Darusada, which was the main block, was basically used to house the resident house tutor. And at that time, I remember I used to call him Bali. He was, his name was Professor Mehman. He was from Sindh.
Yeah, I guess he was English
Yeah,
teacher.
he used to teach English. Yeah, he used to teach
Right.
English. Yeah, so he was the resident house tutor. And in that Darusada, we would have our, meals, breakfast and lunch and dinner. And the main, entrance, there was in the morning, they will have a big pot warming up the water, and we'll go take our buckets and bring the warm water back to our unit and use for our shower. So there was no activity, no sports.
Right.
And at that time, the van, if you want to go to a city, so you have to walk almost more than a kilometer.
To
Faisal Chowk.
Margala Road, I believe.
Yeah, Faisal Chowk, where you
Faisal
would
Chowk,
get
yeah.
to the wagon and so on. So it was tough. It was tough. But as I said, those units were supposed to be family units. I think in every block, and at that time, Darul Haq was not even ready. So very first term, the whole total hostel population was not more than, I believe, 20, 30 students in total. So only Darul Set, was housing these, students.
Yeah. These were 2-bedroom apartments. I still remember
Yes.
2-bedroom apartments,
To,
one kitchen, one
store type,
yeah,
and one bathroom, and
bathroom.
each unit will, we were 8 in total. As you can imagine, one bathroom. And I remember, and I would share this, so although there were tough times, we went through, and I remember in the beginning, also, I personally felt homesickness as well.
Wow. Yeah.
Because of no activity, and obviously financially we're not that well off to afford and call a cab and go to the city and spend time. But the all of us who were living in these blocks became so close to each other, and
Right.
that was the good part. We will care for each other. I remember I shared one incident actually that will show that how we came together and how we cared for each other. I remember there was a Friday, and we were getting close to the Friday prayer, and there was no water actually. And luckily, we got one bucket. It was even not full. And in our block, we were, I think, 3 or 4 of us who needed to take a shower and get ready for Jummah prayer.
Right.
I remember that in our blog, Dr. LLM student Munib Saab, if you remember.
Yeah, I remember him.
Yeah, so he was one of those, 3 or 4 of us. So instead of, he was senior, he could have said that, I have the right, I will go and take shower and use all the water. So all of us decided, okay, everyone will share whatever we have. So I remember that, all of us took shower from that bucket of, water.
Wow.
And within, I think, less than 20-25 minutes. So, I mean, that shows
economization and
yeah, not only
with
economizing, but
scarce
also respecting
resources
each
and
other. Yeah, not
yeah,
being selfish. And
that's
so
right.
yeah, that was at that time, it felt tough, hard, but now when we think back and look back, so we think, we actually cherish those memories.
Very nice. Yeah, I remember you talked about Karachi and coming from Karachi, and because I also lived a few years Karachi, I worked there with the central bank, and I can imagine how big the difference was in the weather these days.
Yeah.
And I mean, going from Islamabad to Karachi, I mean, it was kind of, there was no winter in Karachi. But if you
Almost,
are
yeah.
coming from Karachi to
Okay.
Islamabad, it was totally opposite. So it was with that Karachi in mind, I would like to ask, because I remember your first batch, and we used to, look up to you guys. You were our seniors. I came to university in 1983, and you came to university in 1981.
Yeah.
So I used to, I mean, our batch, we used to look to you guys. Oh, you are our seniors, and you, different stories, and how we will proceed, and what will happen, what will be our future, and so many things. But first thing which I would like to ask you is, because it was very newly established university, and I didn't even know at that time. I was an FSC student, doing my sciences with biology and stuff like that. So I mean, I didn't even know from the area in Punjab, Faisalabad and Lahore, that area. I didn't even know there was a new university in Islamabad. But I still remember you guys were 5-6 students from Karachi. So was there any special admission kind of movement from university that was run in Karachi? What are your memories
Yeah.
on that? How did you get admission, and any memories you would like to share from these days?
Sure. I think 6 of us who came, got admission the first batch. Me and Atiq Zafar and Khalid Mustafa knew each other before coming, because we lived in the same neighborhood. But Ejaz, Salman, and Najam, and no, Sajjad Bhai also was, in our neighborhood. We knew each other. But that bond increased later on. I think there was one common friend who actually, I had done at that time my intermediate, and I was not admitted into engineering college. God, Allah has different plans. So
Obviously,
I
yeah.
was just doing, graduation from private college. So this proposal came from our common friend that this is a new university in Islamabad, and this is the program. And since, it seems that you don't have any plan B, and I didn't have any plan B at that time. So we said, okay, let's give it a shot. So initially we took as a, adventure to go. And, I was sharing with you, a little earlier that how actually I came. Um, it's not easy
Right.
to travel also from Karachi to
Yeah.
Islamabad.
Please share who. Yeah.
Once we got the interview and test call, we didn't have enough time to book our seats, and we had to fly, same day, to travel the same day to reach, next day and to appear for the interview. So we took a chance, me and Sajjad Bhai, we took a train. It used to be Khyber Mail, used to run from Karachi, nighttime. And we didn't have any chance to buy the ticket. So we just, jumped on the train, and we sat beside the bathroom because train was full, and almost 6-8 hours. By the time the train reached Rohri station, then we got out of the train and bought the ticket from the station, the train,
Right. Station master.
so that was something.
Interesting. I mean, it's kind of coming from Karachi to Islamabad, from one part of the country to another part of the country, and
Yeah,
uh,
that was.
hopping on the train like that. It's really it takes some courage. Otherwise, I remember
Yeah.
when I was in Karachi, and the first time I wanted to get back to my
Hometown.
hometown.
Mm.
Oh God! I mean, there was no ticket, no airline ticket, no train ticket, no nothing. I mean, I don't know. I didn't know how will I get back on Eid day, and so
Yeah,
it's really
tough.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that thing in mind. I mean, we all know that Islamic University was established with some objectives in mind, and those who early on worked at the institution, and they worked in establishing the university and its different departments, and especially the Department of Economics, or as it used to be known, School of Economics. Later on, it became International Institute of Islamic Economics. So, I mean, after that many years, more than 35 years now, what do you think uh, about the objectives which were in mind when establishing such an institution, not only a triple IE, but also Islamic University as a whole? So, what do you think
Mm.
that how successful uh, we are as as the product of the university, as community member of the country, as alumni, as as a member of the society, how good we are to achieve these objectives of establishing such an institution.
Yes, if you look at from university point of view, that whether university achieved whatever objectives were set, so it's difficult to comment on that, because I think people like Dr. Sayyid Tahir would be the right person to ask, because he was the first one and the other side of the the table when things started, that how he sees. But as a graduate, I think it was not the university mandate to actually Islamize the economy and Islamize the society. To me, university has done its job, has played its role of producing graduates. Um, and over the years, the university has grown in terms of adding number of departments. and it's continuously producing graduates. So, and I remember, as you also know, that 30, 35, 40 years back, when Islamic banking and finance was taking off, there was a manpower issue, that these banks and institutions will not find a right candidate who would have knowledge of modern banking system, as well as equipped with Islamic principles of finance. So I think university has done that job. University is continuously producing, and we know now that the graduates are all over, both within Pakistan and outside Pakistan, not only in the academia but also in the private sector. So it is up to us, as you said, that how we are playing that role as university graduates.
Yeah.
So obviously, some of us has contributed more, as maybe doing more. Some of us are not doing as much. But I think that definitely has made a difference in terms of providing the human resource to the Islamic banking and finance industry in Pakistan as well as outside Pakistan. And I think maybe later on, I will mention what else we as alumni can do in addition to the WhatsApp group, which is incredible contribution by you guys and Nasir, bringing the alumni all together. I remember you as the initially started when I was here, and you were still in Pakistan. You started this alumni. Somehow things didn't take off, but I think it seems now that this WhatsApp group has attracted reasonable number of graduates. So I think we should use this forum to give back to university, and I'll have a few suggestions at the end.
Yeah. So now, giving back to the university, I still remember. Thanks for reminding me of that first alumni association which was formed, and I remember Atiq Zafar Saab, who retired a few months ago as DG of the IIIE. He was your classmate. He was also a member of the executive council, and so many other friends. They were member there. But as you know, and you are here in Canada, a part of a university. You are a faculty member here. You would agree that alumni associations are normally run with some kind of support from the university administration, because university administration, these are the people who have record of all and contacts of all students, of graduates. But unfortunately, I mean, that is the part which was missing somehow. There was no internal, and then technology was also not that much developed as it is nowadays. We got the benefit of that technology, and Nasir and Humayun Dar and so many other friends, they came together and developed and created this WhatsApp group, and that's how we started. Now we have our YouTube channel, and to share these things, and we are, and you would agree, we are trying to manage to keep our group to the academic discussions. Now, when giving, you pointed out to giving back to the society, I have seen examples here, Dr. Rizwan, that those faculty members in different universities coming from different countries, they go back to their home countries, and they facilitate kind of admissions to their schools here in Canada and the US. So it's a kind of collaboration. So what do you think about, and how can you participate in giving back to the alma mater in Pakistan, and a collaboration, creating a collaboration between two institutions, let's say Islamic University or IIIE and McMaster Economics Department?
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I didn't have that, advantage of going on sabbaticals. But I remember a couple of times when I went, I always, visited the university and campus and encouraged anyone who is interested to, come. So I'd be willing to facilitate in terms of recommending and writing the admission procedure here. It's not that it's not 100% in your hand. You can just provide a good reference and
Right.
recommendation. So I think the current the faculty there plays a key role. And in terms of, I don't know how many, I was the first one to come to, Canada for PhD program. And then I think Salman also came at the same time almost. But I
Almost, yeah.
remember I shared, I know that, let me just share this stage as well, that I was lucky actually. And this is what I would recommend and advise to the current faculty there back at IIIE. When we finished our, masters, we had 4 years of undergrad, 1 year of master's. So, I had enough student life, especially living in the hostel. And
Right.
we were offered a job as a lectureship right after our finishing masters.
Yeah.
So I was relaxed, So now I would start earning and, I'll enjoy the life.
Right.
So I had no plans to, pursue my, PhD. So I remember Dr. Tahir, he called me in his office and he handed me the McMaster, graduate application. So I didn't even write to McMaster and ask for the application package. So he had one in his office and he called me and he gave me that package.
Wow.
And he told me to apply.
Yeah.
And I had no plans. I did not write TOEFL, GRE, nothing. And he pushed me, he encouraged me. So I'm taking this opportunity actually to
Right. No, this is
see
very
that
good.
how everyone of us know how sincere and how committed Dr. Syed Tahir is.
No doubt.
So he is one of my best, teachers, because
Many of us
would recognize
love
the
him.
potential. He would recognize the potential, and he would, support. So much so that he offered, because when I got the admission, the scholarship and teaching assistantship was not enough. Was enough only to cover the tuition, but not the accommodation, and so he offered me some financial help as well. That was enough for me to survive 1 year. And after that, I got into the PhD program and got discouraged. So, so the point is that faculty members, they know students when they're teaching the course. They should, identify students that who has the capability and help them.
Yeah,
And
very good
sometimes
point.
they may have financial, difficulty.
Right.
This is where they can reach out to all the alumni members and all those who are outside in the academia to help them get the admission. So I know that I have not played that role to the extent I should have, but I think going forward, if there is anything, I'm more than willing to support.
Thank you very much for that offer, and I would encourage all our graduating students from IIIE who are recent graduates or who are right now students, or who graduated maybe one or 2 years ago, fresh students, and our alumni, fresh alumni, to look for these opportunities. And McMaster is a special institution. McMaster University in Canada, Hamilton, is a special institution and has a big impact on IIIE, because many of our teachers.
Yes, also Padism University. Now, it used to be the case that I was the first one to come from IIIE, Islamic University.
Right. Right.
Otherwise, every year, Quaid-e-Azam University graduates would come, like including Dr. Zahid, Dr. Etazaz, Dr.
Many,
Sayyid Tahir,
many of them. Yeah, no
many,
doubt.
yeah, and I think since then, no one came actually.
If you remember, Dr. Rizwan, when I came to Canada and I was very much interested to visit McMaster, and you took us to McMaster. That was my first visit to McMaster, and you showed
Mm,
us various those offices. Oh, this office used to be
yeah.
for Dr. Tahir, Sayyid Tahir, and this was for Dr. Etazaz, and this was
Mm.
used by that. So it was really nice, and I still remember these nice
I
memories.
just wanted to mention one more thing with respect to Dr. Sayyid Tahir. Now I think you also have experienced that your students asking you to write a reference letter,
Yes.
and I do that all the time. But I remember writing a reference letter. Many write very standardized letter. Dr. Tahir would write very customized reference letter. And I came to know that when I came to McMaster. So one of the faculty members here, he spoke very highly about him. And he said
Okay.
that if he writes a reference letter, then we don't look at anything else. And
Okay.
so he would not highlight the strengths of
Mhm.
the student, but also would mention if there's any weakness. So
Right.
very customized, and that shows that how much pain you take actually, and how
Exactly.
seriously you take the request to write a reference letter.
No
So
doubt.
I
And
have a
that
very high
pays.
regards for him.
Yeah. And
Uh,
that pays. I
yeah.
mean, yeah. I still remember when I came here, and as your graduate director or the faculty members at McMaster, they mentioned to you about your recommendation letter and reference letter.
Mm,
I remember my one of my reference letter was written by Dr. Etazaz, and
mm,
he was also a graduate from
yeah, yeah,
McMaster.
yeah, yeah.
And uh, my graduate program director at York University, who had graduated from Queen's University but had spent time at Mac McMaster,
Mm,
he remembered him, and he still said, he said, "Wow, if he is writing and
yeah,
about any student,
yeah.
we wouldn't say
Yeah, I
anything
know
else."
that's Dr. Etazaz is another special case. I was honored. I was lucky actually. When I came, he was still finishing his PhD. So
Okay,
I had
okay,
a chance to spend time with him as well.
right.
And Also Dr. Nawab Naqvi actually, when I worked few months, Muslim Commercial Bank in Islamabad.
Okay,
So in
okay.
that sense, I was blessed
Yeah.
with
No,
this
McMaster is a
opportunity.
special place for our for us from Triple IE
Yes.
graduates from Triple IE.
True.
It's a special place. Okay, before concluding today's discussion, and it's very nice and very much refreshing and very much recalling those memories from golden good days. And anything I would like to ask you, what are you other than this teaching at McMaster University? You mentioned you are doing something related to Islamic finance.
Yeah.
Would you like to share something with us today? What are and something else you mentioned you would like to share
Yeah.
with the
Well,
graduate?
thank you. Yeah, first, being a graduate of, Islamic University and, Triple IE, you always, would feel that you should be contributing something, giving back, not even if it is small scale. So here in Canada, heads off to Dr. Kiani also. When we moved to Canada, from Bahrain, so he got himself involved in the housing cooperative, Islamic housing cooperative. And he also, encouraged me and pushed me into and got me also involved. So I also served as a board of directors.
Okay.
That's the practical side. And not only me, but also the other is Triple I graduates here. Dr. Farhanda is also the member of the housing cooperative. Anjum, uh, um,
Anjum
Forgetting.
Shahzad.
Anjum Shahzad, yeah, he is
Oh, okay.
also the member.
Yeah.
And then I just got affiliated with this Center for Islamic Knowledge based in Mississauga, Ontario. So Islamic finance. So we offer short-term, courses, seminars, with the objective of educating the community. You know that in the market, there are many last 10, 15 years, starting from Financial to now, there's so many.
Right.
For community members, they don't have enough knowledge and understanding that whether this product offered by a given company, how, to what extent it is compatible, Sharia compatible. So
Right.
we started this offering, short courses and seminars with the objective to educate the community that what is musharaka and what is ijara, what is diminishing musharaka, and so on,
Right.
giving them some basic knowledge so that they can decide, by themselves that how compatible any given product is. So, Alhamdulillah, we associate with it, not only myself, but also, I also got, Dr. Kiani involved. So we
Yeah.
offered last time one short course, was 2 weekends. So Dr. Zafar Kiani and Shahzad as well as Dr. Fakhanda.
Mhm.
So we will continue to offer these short courses and seminars.
That's very good. So these are courses are free for participants.
Very nominal charges because
Okay. And
the
are they available
organization,
online as well?
uh, unfortunately during COVID we couldn't offer, but the last course was before the COVID, and
Mhm.
they just charge very nominal because the organization is non-profit.
Okay. Okay.
So we don't have any income, generating sources. So they just rely on donations.
Right.
So yeah, so I mean, I can invite you also if it is online to, contribute and, teach part of
Yeah, that
this
that
as
that
well.
will be great. I'll be happy to contribute any way I
Just let
could.
me
But
know.
I was also thinking because you guys live in kind of a very big center metropolitan city, Toronto and vicinity, Mississauga, Hamilton, and these areas.
Yeah, yeah,
But there are now, I feel that, for example, I live in Ottawa, and uh, the population has grown
I
tremendously.
know. Yeah,
It's becoming, for example, a few years ago when I moved to Ottawa, it was 750,000 population was like close to that one, but now it's more than a million.
mm,
So it has gone up, and I see big population, Muslim population increase as well in this
yeah,
town.
mm,
So if these courses are available uh, virtually, then it could be in access to many other people who could be interested. I
sure.
remember once Dr. Zafar Iqbal Kiani, he was kind enough to visit Ottawa as well, and
Mhm,
arranged a couple of
I think that was with respect to housing
sessions.
cooperative, I think. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for housing cooperative or something like that.
Yeah. So I would just couple of suggestions with this forum. As I said, that this
Please.
WhatsApp group forum is incredible. Uh, we don't have to rely on, everything on university administration and government sector. You know how things are back home. So it's our responsibility. So although that the forum is great, in keeping it as professional as possible. But let's just move forward. This is my suggestion, my opinion,
Right.
from discussions to using the forum to give back to community. So I have two things in mind.
Mhm.
One is I'm not sure that how to what extent the current curriculum back in the IIIE, if there are any internships and co-ops.
Mhm.
I think the forum and the faculty at IIU should cooperate, collaborate to find some 3-month, 4-month, 5-month internships for these students.
Very
I know
nice.
that
Yeah.
the graduates are all over within Pakistan as well. that will have them help them in getting some practical exposure as well as job opportunities when they graduate.
Right.
Number two, and also that goes with the those who would like to pursue PhD. So get in touch with the academia
Right.
outside Pakistan as well. The second suggestion I have, I've been thinking this for a long time, to initiate a scholarship, and
Hmm.
in the memory of Dr. Ziauddin, call it Dr. Ziauddin Scholarship. And so if this forum can work out the logistics, I'll be the first one to contribute and offer whatever amount, to our PhD students back, in Islamabad. I remember that how useful these scholarships when we were there.
Oh yeah.
Very nominal, but still, we used to look forward to those scholarships. So I think, Alhamdulillah, many of us are well established, and for us on an annual basis, contributing few
Yeah.
$100s will not be an issue. So
Yeah.
initiate, launch, Dr. Ziauddin Scholarship, so that we can help our graduate students back in Islamabad.
So that's a wonderful idea. So so you what you are, if I understood correctly, what you mean to say is that it's for the local students who would
Yeah.
be doing their PhD, pursuing their
Yes.
PhD
Yes.
from IIIE.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So it could be kind of
For because if they are coming outside Pakistan, then they can always arrange. What if you can grow and establish the trust, and you have enough funds to even
yeah,
fund those students who would go outside Pakistan, that will be great. But to start
yeah,
at least have some financial support to at the same time. Also the forum can launch essay competition to encourage writing and thinking for our masters and PhD students back in Islamabad. So these were the few
yeah. No, these are very
because
good suggestions.
one,
And
I always, everyone has so much regard for Dr. Ziauddin. I always remember
oh yeah,
one of his
no
sentence,
doubt.
when I was coming for PhD,
Mhm.
we had a small gathering at a local restaurant in Islamabad.
Right.
And I remember, I still have that in my memory, that he said that keep the flag flying, keep the
Very,
flag flying.
yeah.
I mean, I don't think I have lived up to those expectations, but at the same time, when I look at our juniors, especially Dr. Himayu,
Yeah.
that he's certainly doing that.
No, he is
Uh,
very
uh,
much on these footsteps, and he is really keeping the flag high. There, no doubt about
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
and there are many other
I
fellows,
know
many
there
other. I
are
mean,
many.
as you and myself, we came out of country and we established ourselves here, and kind of not that much into, but there are very
Many.
good, I mean, very nicely and trained and very good graduates who are from our juniors
I'm sure. Yeah.
who have made their name. And
I
there
know.
are, I mean, through this forum of our this alumni forum, I came to know about many of
Many.
our juniors who are really contributing very well
Yeah.
by
Same here.
writing, by policy making, and stuff like that.
Same here. Same here.
Yeah,
So keep up the good work. All those. I know that some of them are doing it with a low profile. Some of them do it with a high profile. That doesn't matter as long as you are contributing and giving back.
that's right. Very nice. Thank you very much for being with us, Dr. Rizwan Tahir. And it was very nice discussion, very nice suggestions. I appreciate really any last words or suggestions or
No,
anything
those
you would
those
like
those
to.
were the suggestions, and I'll always be available if you guys seriously think about these suggestions, and you will always find me first in the line if there's a need to contribute. Inshallah, I'll be there.
Thank you very much for your support. And we'll discuss your ideas definitely, and so many other things we discussed for our current students, for our alumni, fresh graduates. We discussed many things. We discussed admissions, we discussed other things. So I hope our juniors, they will benefit from this discussion.
Sure.
They will learn how the early days were, and they will be happy to know how you guys, you are our seniors, or us. I'm also now among the seniors.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
did we
yeah.
spend?
Only 2 years difference.
Yeah, only 2 years.
Yeah. I think every time has its own challenges. So
No doubt,
we
no
had
doubt.
those type of challenges, but now the current graduates may facing
They
different
have,
type of challenge.
yeah, many
So
more other challenges.
yeah.
Thank you very much once
Thank
again.
you. No
Thanks for
problem. Thank
being
you.
with us, and
You too.
have a nice evening,
You
and
too.
talk to you soon.
Thank you.